in the beginning, before there even was an LNS, there was a University of Hartford and there was a Boston University. And upon election to the post of editor of the what was called the Call Board back then, and he later switched it to calling it the Cauldron, Dan Riley and a few of his cohorts were looking for a paper that would set the example that they could follow to try and get their more radical views across. And the paper that they fell upon favorably was the paper that Ray Mungo edited in Boston University. If you could give me the name of that, please.
BU News.
BU News.
America's largest college weekly.
There we go. And they made arrangements, and they took a little trek up what I call it the MacBird exchange program, because they went up and they visited Ray in his lair there at BU, and then they went to a showing of MacBird.
That's right. We staged it.
Which they staged.
That radical play about the LBJ.
Right.
To raise money to send our own reporters to Vietnam. We were the only college newspaper in the country that had its own reporter and photographer on duty in Vietnam.
Yes, I remember from your books, from that book that you mentioned that. So
but the university, BU wouldn't give us the money. In fact, BU wished we were dropped dead. So we had to raise the money ourselves, which we did handily.
And Ray then did his part of the exchange. He went and visited the University of Hartford and with Dan Riley, and he wrote an article. I think Ray, I emailed you, and I think you also read a copy of that article that I sent, which basically sums up your impressions of the University of Hartford at the time. Okay. If you could just give me a little bit of that.
Well, I haven't read the article because I didn't get the email, but the printed copy you just gave me. My impression was that Dan Riley was an absolutely great guy. He really had the fire in his lungs and his brain. He was going to pull this off nicely. But I had to admit, the University of Hartford seemed much more conservative than BU. And it was a smaller school. It was a smaller buzz. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Boston's a bigger city than Hartford. Hartford's a big city, but Boston is bigger. And I'm not suggesting that the BU student body was very left-wing. It wasn't, but we had more of a base than Hartford did. We had a radical leader of the student government. We had a board of directors, an editorial board on the paper that was unified in its opposition to the war in Vietnam and lots of other controversial persons. We were better organized. We were much better organized. So I had a wonderful time in Hartford, and I thought there was a lot of possibilities there for them to do something good. I did not anticipate that Dan was going to get canned for doing it. I was very disappointed. He didn't get canned for doing it, but at least he had the balls to go out there and do it.
Yeah.
And that was in the air in Hartford. And I did my best to sort of stir up the pot a little bit.
Yes.
No puns intended.